Queen's Chest is an interesting story. It's true. Nothing's fake about it. The Spanish set out in 1856 from Cuba with quite a few ships loaded to bear with gold, silver, and jewels that they've sacked from most of the area. For years, the king demanded it returned to him. They hit a huge hurricane on the way, so they went near North Carolina and had to try to beat it, but all the boats were destroyed, I think but one. Now, they've never found the Queen's Chest, but they keep finding gold pieces littered all throughout the area. Now, the story goes that the one ship that made it went slightly the other way and didn't get caught in the main maelstrom. Everything went down, so no one's seen it, but on occasion, someone will find a coin or a jewel piece from the ship, because they did record it. So my story, which you would have learned about tonight, goes differently. Of course, because we're the English, we can do what we want. And I call the archaeologists into my office. And of course they come in and they're like, oh, yes sir. You know, they're all, and like, oh, for heaven's sakes, just sit down and be quiet. And stop being so archaeological. And we start up, and I'm like, which one of you two has heard of the 1756 gold blundel? You mean the Queen's Chest? Yes. And I'm like, not that one. The Queen's Chest full of gold. Well, we all heard of it. Well, good. In 1754, a large chunk of gold was brought to us. It was English gold. It's much better than the Spanish gold. And I'll tell you why. Because we purified it more. So that's what they wanted. In 1755, it was on its way to the mainland. Where, well, obviously Florida, we own it. Anyway, at the time, and they took it. Well, and then they'll ask me questions. And I'm like, of course they took it. So the Spanish took our gold. I want it back, because I have to pay for things like social reform and all this other fun stuff you people want, so I need it. How much is it worth? About 15 billion pounds. And that's about how much it weighs, evidently. So they're like, where is it? Well, there's the trick. We had to do some digging, literally, but we found a few things over the years, and on a table were these artifacts. And one of the characters goes, well, what is it? Well, this is something we found in a bottle. It's a map, and it shows the Bermuda Triangle. Evidently some kind of thing where everything goes disappearing. I don't know, I haven't ever been there. But the governor is a good friend of mine. He said he would help us. We'll be using Port Elizabeth as our main viewing point. So please be careful and don't get the people riled up. You know what people do all the time. What? Cause trouble. Look what you did in Egypt the last time. God. And you lost my niece. What the hell? Anyway, besides the point, this is the other piece we found. I handed over, and he's like, oh, this is interesting parchment. What is it? That's human skin. We leave off the back of a pirate. Ah! And he drops it. Pick it up, for God's sake. It's over 200 years old. Look at what it shows. It's a map. Correct. But now it's the map. This is what's important. It goes with what we found in the bottle, which is a written record from someone who survived the crash. They say that the gold chest is complete. It made it to an island. What one? I don't know, the island of the Boom Boom. I don't know. Did you not get that joke? Okay. So we continue, and I'm like, your job is to find it. Send him in. And then Krieger comes and goes, und ja, cousin. Oh God, here we go again. American and Englishman and German all together. And then he's like, und ja, we're going to take us und fly. Throws this thing around and goes, up. Fine, get going. And then as they leave, I grab him and I say, I'll be watching carefully. You mean you're, yes, I'll be watching. Get the gold, it's important. All right, so he gets the gold. He leaves. And that's where we were to end it, which sets it up. So that's sort of the premise to the whole idea is there's gold. We don't know where it is, sort of, but we know it's on an island. We don't know much about the island except it's a mystery, and we think it's about 150 nautical miles south of Port Elizabeth. How many like to watch Bridgerton? I wish I would have had more time to finish it again. Last few weeks have been a little rough. The governor of the islands in the Bahamas would have been Governor Now I'm going to miss the name. Banbury. What? Danbury, thank you. Yes, Governor Danbury. And we would have had a little fun with that, but getting things finished wasn't exactly easy in the last 2 weeks. So we're trying to link it all in for you guys. So tomorrow I'm going to let them take over. I'm going to let the actors, the 2 remaining in Jack, take it from there. We're going to see where we can go with it. So I wanted to give you at least what officially I had written down was the idea. So at least you have an idea. It's not based on a made up, it's all real. They do keep finding pieces every few months. They find someone will put it up and they'll be like, "Look what I found," and it's like, okay, it's pretty good. So that's something to think about. Now,
I am taking over TeslaCon. I'll be holding on to your watches, your wallets, your purses. You'll get them back at the end of the day on Sunday. I can be trusted, eh? Okay, I can be trusted. I want to thank Eric for having me here. You know, we've been talking about this for and I'm here. All it took was this chest of treasure. Welcome to 2024 TeslaCon. And if you see the floor, feel free to come over and say hello. I don't bite, I only nibble. Cheers, everyone.
I know I picked it. So with that, we have another surprise. And I think it's something that none of you have all seen. So ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ed and his wonderful, marvelous dinosaurs.